Your low self-worth is based upon lies, and I can prove it to you. And to do so, we need to talk about words. Words are the most powerful wrench in our metaphorical tool belt. The words in which we hear or speak on a daily basis will shape everything else around us. Words dictate not only how our life unfolds, but the perspective of our subjective realities. And it's weird when you deeply observe words for the first time because really they're just patterns of sounds. Right now, try to listen to me talking without putting a label on the words that I'm saying. Just listen to the words as what they are, which is a string of sounds. It's weird, isn't it? How is it that these sounds, which we use to express ourselves and categorize things, leave such a huge psychological impact on us? And that got me thinking, does the way that words are said and how they're expressed in different languages impact how we view the things that the words are trying to symbolize? In other words, no pun intended, does a Japanese person see an apple differently than I do because their word for apple is lingo? I think it undoubtedly does, and there's probably some sort of linguistic science that's already been done to back this up. Different languages and the sentence structures and sounds of those languages greatly impact a person's way of viewing themselves and the world. So why do I bring this up in a video about self-worth and thinking you're not going to amount to anything? Because I'm trying to drill into your head how impactful the words that you hear and tell yourself on a daily basis really are. Depending on how it is used, the word can set you free or it can enslave you more than you know. Today, I want to talk about the latter. All those words that we've used to torture ourselves over the years and how to dig up those deep roots that are associated with those words that we've planted in our mind over the years. And I know it's possible to do so for everybody watching this video because for the good majority of my life, I didn't think much of myself. I know what story you are all replaying in your heads over and over right now. Words like, I'll never amount to anything, I'm not worthy of being loved, I'm worthless compared to others, constantly flooded my mind as a young teen. And from the ages of 15 to 23, I was able to dodge these voices inside my head, or at least silence them to an extent through having a significant other. Because let's be real here, having a significant other makes you feel important. It makes you feel like you're worth something even if you only feel like you're worth something to one other person. And so I thought my problems were solved thanks to having this person in my life to consistently tell me that they loved me. I weighed the opinion of my girlfriend much more highly than my own. After all, I wasn't worth much to myself, and a girlfriend gave me the reassurance that I desperately needed. But when you rely on someone else to feel whole and worthy, you're just a few words away from seeing your entire world crumble before your eyes. And those words are, I think we should break up. After my first breakup, which was a relationship that went from age 15 to 18, it wasn't too bad. Yes, I definitely got depressed for a while and felt extremely lonely, but we had already been drifting apart. We went to different colleges and hadn't seen each other much for the majority of that year before we broke up. On top of that, after we broke up, I had my friends to help bring me back up, as well as all the superficial hookups that would happen in the year following the breakup. These things outside of me were just enough to trick myself into thinking that I was worth something again. But my second breakup was when I had to come face to face with all of those things that I was suppressing over the years. I heard those same words again for the second time. I think we should break up. And this time, I had nowhere to run. It was the start of the pandemic. I couldn't go out with friends. No trying to hook up with girls to feel better about myself. All I could do was sit in solitude. I was heartbroken and my identity was completely shattered. I felt those lingering negative thoughts creep up on me and come to the forefront of my conscious mind once again. And again, for the first time in a while, I felt worthless and incomplete. And this was the pivotal moment in my life where I could have given up completely and lived the rest of my life feeling insecure and hopeless, or I could look within and really question and ask myself why it was that I feel this way about myself. I decided to choose the latter, and now I'm sitting in this chair, the happiest I've ever been, ready to share with you what I learned during that time. And it all started with the story that I was telling myself and the beliefs, aka the string of words that I had learned over the years to fuel that story. Before you learn to speak, your brain is like a perfect computer, but without a program. Once you learn a language, the program is introduced to you mainly through your parents as well as other people around you. They hook your attention, they teach you what they know, and the program goes inside of you little by agreement. You agree and believe what they say to be the truth, and now you have that program. Everything you know, all of the knowledge in your head was already in the program before you were born. Every letter, every word, every concept in your belief system is part of the program. If you are the computer, then knowledge is the program, and that program is contaminated with a virus called lies. Within this program lies a voice which we call our thoughts. This voice is a byproduct of the program that's been instilled to us since we were born. And that voice is usually lying because it's the voice of what you've learned, and you've learned so many lies over the years, mainly about yourself. The first lie that you learn to believe is that you are not the way you should be, that you are not good enough, that you are not perfect, and if you're like me, or I guess I should say the old me, that you need another person to increase your worthiness. So you start to search for whatever you think that image of perfection is, which is based upon your program of lies, but you can never become that image because it is a false image. But we can't comprehend it's a lie because we produce an entire set of lies to support this lie. For example, when you say, "I'll never be successful," which is a lie based on your program, the voice inside your head will produce other lies such as, "I don't have what it takes, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good looking enough," etc. And you've let this program run your life, and you haven't even taken a second to question it. Now, even if you don't like the program, nobody is guilty for sharing it with you. They're just telling you the lies they believe, and they too are unaware that they're lies. And this is why we shouldn't blame other people for doing what they did to you if they've done anything bad and caused trauma to you, because they're just running on the wrong program. And these programs create the negative emotional reactions that we feel in certain scenarios. Our emotions are real, but our knowledge is not real. I know that sounds kind of confusing, so let me give you an example. Let's say you have a dog, and this dog in your eyes is perfect. Well, I know this is how I see all dogs. But what happens if you abuse the dog? What if every time you see the dog, you kick the dog? Very soon, the dog will be afraid. The dog may get angry. It might try to bite at you and run away. Is there something wrong with the dog's emotions? Does that dog's anger make it evil? No, the dog's reaction is just a result of being abused. The emotion is helping the dog to defend itself. And in the same way, emotional pain is a symptom of being abused. The pain is letting us know that we have to do something to stop the abuse. If we're not enjoying the emotional reaction, it's not about repressing what we feel like I tried to do when I tried to go out with my friends and hook up with women. It's about cleaning up the lies that cause the emotional reaction. So that leaves the question, what is the truth? The truth is, you are whole and complete on your own. You are worthy of being loved, and you can achieve anything you put your mind to under the laws of nature, of course. It all starts with hacking your brain's programs that have been embedded into you that are in the form of lies. And this is exactly what I did during that period of solitude after my second breakup. What I realized is that our mind is like a fertile ground for seeds. The seeds are opinions, ideas, and concepts. You plant a seed or a thought and it grows. The word is like a seed, and the human mind is very fertile. The only problem is that it's too often fertile for the seeds of fear, hate, and sadness. Every human mind is fertile, but only for those kinds of seeds that it is prepared for, or rather that it's been conditioned to be prepared for. During this period of time being alone and feeling lonely, I looked within and changed all of these beliefs about myself over the span of a few months period. How did I do this? Well, first I had to identify where my feelings of unworthiness or feeling like I needed someone else to complete me came from. And I figured out that it's probably just a byproduct of all the things that I've consumed over the years, on top of what my parents kind of told me about love and relationships and how they work and how other people were viewing relationships, and I thought that I should be accepting this the same way. And then I told myself every day these same things that I'm telling you. I recited them every single day in my bed. I told myself that I am going to be successful, that I'm capable of achieving anything I put my mind to, and that I am whole and complete on my own and I deserve to be happy. And I reprogrammed my mind for success and happiness by planting the right seeds. And when I started to actually see those changes in real life by putting in the necessary work every day, it was all I needed to realize that I had shitty programming about myself, which was determined by other people's words, which were lies. And that if I choose to focus on the right words to plant, then my entire outlook on myself and life can change. Now, this process is going to look different for everybody, and it's going to take a different amount of time for everybody based on what you went through, what type of trauma you have, and what your upbringing looked like. But in order to start this process, there is one belief, one string of words that you must dig up in your mind's fertile ground. And that one belief is that you believe you're incapable of reprogramming your mind. So remember this: whether you think you can change or you can't, you're right. A portion of this video, I took some concepts from a book that I read during that time where I was going through all this in my period of solitude, which is called The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. I highly suggest you check out that book. It goes deeper into what I've been talking about this whole video, but thank you so much for watching, and thank you to all the patrons on this channel on Patreon. If you don't know what this is, it's a platform separate from YouTube where I'm putting out exclusive videos and podcasts, and you can also talk to me one-on-one there if you want to check that out. You can click that thing that just popped up on the screen or check out the link in the description. That's it for this video. Thank you guys so much. I just want you to understand what you're capable of doing, because you are capable of so much more than you think. And yeah, love you guys.